Hello everyone, Hannah of H&K Drama here today, and I'm going to be doing an anime review for you guys. And the anime that I'm going to be talking about is Attack on Titan. Odds are you've probably heard of it. If you watch any sort of anime, I would be really surprised if you haven't. I feel like it's one of the most popular animes, at least here in the United States. Like, Attack on Titan stuff is just everywhere. It seems like everyone has watched it, and so I decided to finally jump on that bandwagon and watch the show, and I was not at all disappointed. I watched it in about 3 days' time. It was 3 school days, I might add, so on top of homework and everything else, I didn't sleep much during those 3 days, let's just put it that way. So I'm assuming you probably know, like, the storyline of Attack on Titan, but if you don't, I'll summarize it for you real quick. So Attack on Titan is set in this, like, post-apocalyptic type world. It's dystopian. It feels really dystopian, but it doesn't seem a lot like other dystopians. It's kind of hard to explain. But, like, it's not what you think of when you think of dystopian, but at the same time it is. And we follow our main character, Eren Yeager, who lives in kind of the outskirts of this last place of civilization for humans, because these Titans showed up, like, a while ago and just killed off everyone, except for there's these 3 walls that surround all that's left of humanity. And things are going great. People are living inside the walls. Everything's all good. Until the Titans break down the wall. You see the first episode and you know what's coming. You know that these Titans are somehow going to get in. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't have a show. And after the Titans break down the wall, death and destruction ensues, and just a lot of people die, like, a lot of people. And so Eren Yeager grows up, and he just harbors this grudge against the Titans, and he just basically wants to kill them all. And so that is his goal in life. That is his goal in life, is to kill all of the Titans. So that's pretty much how I can summarize it without spoiling a bunch of stuff. So, yeah, if you haven't seen Attack on Titan yet, I really recommend it. The animation in it is, like, really cool. Like, all the outlines of the characters are really thick-lined, and I think that makes it really interesting and really unique to look at. Like, the animation is gorgeous. I love it. This anime is definitely pretty dark. I mean, it's rated TV mature, TV MA, whatever. And there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of death, there's a lot of destruction. So if you're down for that, I would definitely recommend Attack on Titan if you haven't seen it already. So now, if you have seen it, stay tuned for spoilers as I discuss things. Yes. Okay, now it is time for spoilery stuff. So the first time that I watched the first episode of Attack on Titan, I was actually at my friend's house and we were just like, hey, it's on Netflix. Let's watch it. So it was me, Katie, and another friend, and we watched it, and the end of the episode happened where Eren's mother is eaten by a Titan, and we just all start screaming. Like, it was freaking raining blood on the TV screen, and we're just like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And her family came downstairs because they were worried about us. Anyway, I had actually read the first volume of the manga for Attack on Titan, which stops right after Eren gets eaten by a Titan. And I was like, I need to continue this. And since I don't exactly have anywhere to go out and buy the manga, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch the anime. Like, I was just so surprised that the main character died that quickly, but then we figure out he's not actually dead. But I was pretty convinced he was dead, because from what I've heard from everybody else who watches this show, they're like, yeah, everyone dies, like they're running out of characters to kill off. And I was like, well, that's not good. This show should be called All My Friends Are Dead, not Attack on Titan. Like, can we have an official name change? I think All My Friends Are Dead fits it a little better, because that's kind of what happens. I think my favorite character out of the entire show was probably Armin. I just loved him so much. He was so adorable, and like, I feel like people don't give him enough credit because he's like super smart and really important. Like, people understand how important Armin is. Like, Eren and Mikasa, they're great, but Armin just, I love him so much. And I love that Eren and Mikasa value him for, like, his intelligence and the person he is rather than trying to be like, no, you have to be stronger to fight Titans physically. But Armin is just so mentally strong and just, he's such a good, like, supportive person to Eren, especially with all of his changing into a Titan stuff going on. Like, I just really appreciated him. Another character that I really liked was Levi. Like, I don't even know where to begin with this character. At first, when he was first introduced, I thought he was going to sort of be the comic relief of the series, and while he sort of is, there's a lot of sadness that surrounds him, I feel like. When they're fighting the female Titan in the woods, Levi's entire squad is destroyed. Like, Petra and everyone. His entire squad, those are like the people he trusts the most, and like, he doesn't even, like, there's like no emotion with that. Like, I want to know what the heck happened to make him like not even react to it. Like, his entire squad, it's like, Eren freaked out and he'd only been with them for like a little while, whereas Levi had been with these people for so long, and yet he just had like no emotion. And then when they're on the way back to the city and they have to like dump the bodies off the cart because they're too heavy, and you see Petra's body, and oh my gosh, her death made me so angry. Like, I liked her a lot. Why did she have to die? I kind of guessed that the female Titan was going to be Annie because I noticed she kind of looked a lot like her, because Annie was one of the few blonde girls in the series, and I was like, I think it's her, but like, how would that make sense? Like, she didn't seem like that kind of person, I guess. Like, I'm really curious as to what her motives were, because they're not really revealed in this season. We're gonna have to wait until next season. That's what I'm wondering about the most. Like, what was going on with her and her father? Why did she choose to kill all these people, and why is she going up against humanity? Like, did somebody make some sort of deal with her? Like, what's going on exactly? Oh, another character I liked. Oh, if I can pronounce her name. Hanji? The one chick with the glasses and like the brown hair, who was like crazy and did all the experiments on the Titans and stuff. I really liked her a lot. She was crazy and I loved her. I really like how this show kind of showed what happened to people when they see so much death and destruction. It was just really interesting, and I think that reflects especially in Jean, because he was not the way he was at the beginning of the series as he was at the end of the series. At the end of the series, I felt like he was much more negative about everything. Not knowing how Marco died just like broke him, and I felt like made him not care about his own life so much anymore. Like, he still cared about it, but he just wanted to be able to die in a way that he would be remembered, so like he joins the Survey Corps and everything because of that reason, and like he never would have done that unless all this death and destruction and Marco happened. And just the character development and the character relationships in this show is just, ugh. One thing I really appreciate is that there wasn't really a huge amount of romance between Mikasa and Eren, because that's not really the point of the show, and I would have been a bit disappointed if they would have dwelled on that too much, because, I mean, there's small hints of it, but you have to understand, like, they grew up together. They're practically siblings. Like, I think it'd be really hard to go from practically siblings to, like, kissing and stuff. Like, there's still a long ways to go before they ever become anything, but I appreciate that there wasn't, like, it wasn't like forced on you. You know what I mean? I hope you understand what I'm talking about. I like how when they talk about how if humanity was all driven together and had to fight this bigger enemy, they would come together as one and there wouldn't be disputes, when in reality that doesn't really happen. Like, I thought it was interesting how they portrayed that, and I thought it was interesting how they portrayed that the government was so corrupt. Why would you have a system where the top 10, like, fighting best Titan killers get to join the military police where they don't even do anything and just get to live a life of luxury, when the people that aren't as skilled are the ones actually fighting the Titans? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, it just goes to show you how screwed over this system is and everything else, and I just think that's really interesting. That's why I feel it's really dystopian, but I don't really know, like, it's like dystopian, post-apocalyptic fantasy, maybe? I don't know how to summarize up, like, Attack on Titan is in a genre, but I think it's kind of a genre of its own, to be honest. I felt like this season wrapped up pretty nicely. It definitely stopped at a good stopping point. I mean, we defeated the female Titan, and, like, things are, you know, getting kind of normal-ish currently, but I'm really, really, really excited for the second season. Like, it's coming out either this year or next year. I can't remember which one. One of those two, and just, I need more of these characters in my life. I need to know more about them. Like, I know we know a lot about Mikasa and Eren and Armin, but I want to learn more about some of the other characters. Like, I want to know more about, like, Jean and Sasha. Oh, Sasha, I forgot to mention her. She is another one of my favorite characters, the potato girl, because that would be me. I'd just be like, yeah, I'm really hungry, so I'm just gonna eat this potato. Anyway, I want to learn more about those characters and more about Levi, and just I want to know more. I want more. 25 episodes was not enough for me, so I'm really looking forward to the second season. Also, they're coming out with a live-action movie, and I've seen the previews for it, and it looks interesting. We shall have to see how that goes. So, I hope you guys all enjoyed this review. Be sure to like, comment below, subscribe, and all those wonderful things. And me and Katie or me, or some combination thereof, will see you soon in another video. Goodbye!